right, let's get into it. Today, I want to look at the summer release schedule, kind of break that down a little bit. One of the things that I think is really interesting during this time, we're moving into the summer months. And as you move into the summer months, because there's lots of tournaments and because there's lots of sets being released, what you're going to see is cards spiking up. So a lot of players are pulling their hair out, trying to figure out, why is this card going up? Well, part of the reason why certain cards are going up is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to look at some of the reason cards are going up, and it has a lot to do with what's coming out in the next couple months. Part of being a Yu-Gi-Oh player is that, particularly in the United States in the TCG, is that the OCG releases like 3 months before us. So we know what's coming down the road, and that is going to spike the prices. Part of what's spiking the card prices right now is sets that are coming out in the next several months over the summer. So let's look at it. Let's break it down. My name is Todd from Kotu Cards. Always excited to be with you. If you like what we're doing, hit that subscribe button. Let's get us up there. We're moving up to 200. Let's go. Hit that like button too. It helps us out tremendously. So the first set that we're looking at that's going to be dropping in June 2nd is Wild Survivors. This is one of those deck building sets, and a lot of people put down the deck building sets. They only care about the core sets. I think that's a mistake. If you look at some of the things that have come out of these deck building sets, this is where you get the adventure engine. This is where you got Pearlies. This is where you get I think this is where Eldritch came out of, is one of these deck building sets. Recently, you've had Runic and Labyrinth come out of the deck building sets. These sets usually do have some pretty interesting decks in there. I would not dismiss them. I absolutely love them. As far as the quarter century rares go, it does not appear as though they're going to affect Wild Survivors. It looks like this is the last kind of set where quarter century rares are not going to affect them. So you are still going to get the collector rares that you normally get in these. You usually get 15 different collector rares. If you know me, collector rares are my cards. I love them, especially the staples. I go in, I grab play sets. I have play sets of almost every collector rare staple that they made because I just love them. So some people are into ultimate rares, some people are into starlights. I'm into collector rares. So you still are going to get the collector rares, and we know in these sets you normally get 3 new archetypes. We know what they are. They're the Transcendrike. This is your dinosaurs. You want to know why dinosaurs are spiking, why your evolution pills might be going up, why Animadorn Archosaur might be going up, the Oviraptor might be going up. It's because of this. They're getting new support, and those staple dinosaur cards are probably going to find some play in here. You also get the Vanquished Soul. A lot of people are interested in that as well, and we can't forget the Hungry Burger archetype, the Novellas, also going to be in here. So those are the 3 kind of new archetypes that are going to be in here. And then you get collector rares that feed into those archetypes, but also collector rares that are oftentimes staples. You've got Cosmic Cyclone in seasons past, and Anti-Spell, and Trap Trick, and, E-Telly. That's where I really get excited about these sets. So Wild Survivors coming out in less than a month at the very beginning of June. If you have an OTS by you, it will be coming out at the very end of May, because they get those. They can sell those a couple days earlier. But it's a deck building set. I think it has the potential to be a really good one. Which of these decks is going to spike? I don't know. It's usually one or two, and there's one or two that's a bust. If I had to put my money on one of them, my guess is Vanquished Soul. But I have been wrong. I went with Rescue Ace on the last one. Amazing Defenders. That was the last deck building set. So I don't really know, but that's coming out at the very beginning of June. So keep that in mind. Now, after that, though, you're going to move into the Battles of Legend Monstrous Revenge. And these Battles of Legend sets, the last one we got was Crystal's Revenge. Oftentimes you get some really good reprints in here. Now this set is going to be affected by the quarter century rares. So what it was in the past is that in the past you would generally get a Starlight per case, generally. Now I've gotten cases, particularly in Crystal's Revenge, we went 3 cases. Our first 3 cases with no Starlights, and that hurt a lot. Now, we did pick up steam afterwards, but you generally get a Starlight per case. But you're not getting that here. You're going to get the quarter century rares. We do not know the breakdown of those. What we do know is that there's going to be more than 20 of them. So there's going to be a lot of them. More than 20 cards are going to get quarter century rare printing in this set. So does that mean that you're going to get more? Maybe 2 per case, or maybe 3, or maybe 4 like collector rares. We just don't know. We don't know the breakdown of the ratios of what to expect. But my guess is that you're probably looking at about 2. And I'm basing that on the last Battles of Legend set, which was Crystal's Revenge. And if you remember, there were 10 Starlights in that set. I think there were 10. There were a lot because you had the Pieces of Exodia and then the other cards in there. So there were 10 of them and you got 1 per case. So I think with the quarter century that you're looking at somewhere around 2 per case, but I'm just guessing as well as anybody else. We just don't know. We do know some of the quarter century rares, like we know Dark Arm Dragon is getting a quarter century rare. Don't know how I feel about that. I have a playset of the Ghost. I love it. We do know Zeus is getting a quarter century rare. It already has a Starlight. Not sure how I feel about that as well. Rite of Armesia, Welcome Labyrinth. These are some of the big ones. I think Dante is also getting quarter century rare. So we know some of the cards that are getting this quarter century rare treatment, but these sets always depend on the reprints. And if you remember last year, Crystal's Revenge, you had an access code reprint in there. We don't know what the reprints are going to be yet. I'm guessing that announcement is going to be coming in the week or weeks ahead. So I don't know whether to go all in on this set yet or not, but because it largely depends on those reprints. But that is coming out June 23rd at the end of June. So June is bracketed with 2 sets. One at the very beginning, Wild Survivors. One at the end, Battles of Legend Monstrous Revenge. From there, though, you're going to move into the next core set. And the next core set is Dinos Nexus. We are anticipating that this is going to be a banger of a set because it usually is, because it kicks off the new kind of season. And with the new season, the kickoff set usually is very, very good. So we're hoping that this set is very good. I shouldn't say you're not going to get Starlights, but they've already announced that you're going to get quarter century rares in here. I do not believe they're going to give you Starlights and quarter century rares because they're so similar in appearance. So I think that when you're getting quarter century rares, I think that that is taking the place of the Starlights. We know in this Duelist of Nexus that you're getting 24 quarter century rares. So again, the question is, are you going to get more? Is it more than one per 24 boxes or every other case? Are you going to get one in every case or maybe even two in every case? We just don't know. It's part of the difficulty of selling in this year because you don't know what to anticipate. In previous years, we knew it's a Starlight per 24 boxes or every other case. But here we just don't know. But in here, you're getting support for a lot of archetypes. And this is going to cause cards to spike up. And this is why I don't understand why Yu-Gi-Oh players are surprised when their Altergeist cards are spiking up. You're getting Altergeist support in here. And that's going to cause those older cards to spike up because people want to play the deck. And maybe it's going to be playable in 2023. So you're looking at, Infernoble or Noble Knights is getting support in here. Dinos, Unchained, Rescue. A couple weeks ago, all the Rescue cards got bought out. And people could not fathom why anybody's buying the Rescue cards. Well, it was the same time that the Rescue support got announced and it was really good support. That's going to cause the older cards to get bought out. It's going to cause them to go up in value. Now, if the support isn't good, then obviously it's not going to do that. But when the support is good, it's going to cause the older cards to go up in price. Dark World. There's a Dark World card in this set that everybody is anticipating. It's going to put Dark World on a whole nother level, and it's already good. There's a guy at my locals that plays Dark World. I hate playing against it because I can't remember what it's called, but I lose my whole hand. Basically, he does it twice to me. He takes two cards out of my hand. And when he goes first, I'm left with one card in my hand my first turn. But Dark World's tough, and this new Dark World card is going to do something. Let me give you one thing here. If you have Valence cards, hold on to those, because I think there's like 12. There's a lot. There's a lot of new Valence support that's coming out. And this deck has the potential with all of this support to actually be playable. Now, I am told that the Valence is a very difficult deck to play, but those cards might go up in price. So just keep an eye on that. They're also getting support in here. I am anticipating this is a set that I want to go all in on, get as much of it as I can. So that's the third set that's coming out July 28th. So you've got two in June, you've got one in July. The last set that I want to talk about over the summer months is the legendary Duelist set, Soul Burning Volcano. This is that fire set. Now, I know that people are super excited about this. There's Salamangreat support in here that people love that deck and they want to play it. There's Volcanic support in here. People love that and they want to play it. There's Battling Boxer. I don't know that anybody loves that, but it might be good enough. Some people might give it a try, but those are the three kind of archetypes that are getting support in here. You generally get a Ghost Rare and you generally get one chase card. So if you go back to last year, this set, you had Duels from the Deep. The chase card was Forbidden Droplet. The ghost was Silent Honor Arc. If you go back the year before that, the chase card was Forbidden Droplet. And the ghost rare was the Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon. I'm anticipating that you might have kind of the same thing, but we don't know. They might slide quarter century rares in here, turn everything on its head. We just don't know. I don't believe that has been announced yet. But let me caution you on these sets, because I've lost a lot of money on these sets. Nobody buys these and nobody wants the cards. I'm just being honest with you. And so you can look at what is being given support in here, Volcanic and Solomon Great primarily. And you can say, of course they're going to sell. And if they put a chase card in here and if they put a ghost rare, of course this set's going to sell. Let me bring you back. If you go back 2 years ago, everybody was super hyped about Speedroids. And everybody was super hyped about the lore list. This is all in the wind archetype. And then you had the LaFleur, which would be like your battling boxer. And then they threw Forbidden Droplet in here. And that was at a time when you couldn't get Forbidden Droplet. Everybody wanted it. And then they gave you a ghost rare. You couldn't pay people to pay for this set. You couldn't. It sat on stores. My local still has it. Can't move it. Priced it all the way down to like $20 a box. And nobody bought it. Because the chase card is almost always short printed. And the chase card, I'm sorry, it wasn't Forbidden Droplet 2 years ago. It was the Baron. The chase card was a $100 card, and you still could not get people to buy the box because it was short printed. You get one ghost per case, and the decks didn't really sell. They didn't have the support to lift up the archetypes. Now, Lore List did something for a while, and then I think it was the Starlight, the Xyz monster, that they limited it and they killed it. But you really couldn't sell it. Duels from the Deep was even worse. This was the one with Forbidden Droplet, and it had the Silent Honor arc in it, and it was even worse. It could not sell. I would caution you on this set. I'm not saying don't buy it, but don't go all in on it. There's a history here. And the wind one and the water one, they both flopped. I'm anticipating that the fire one probably will flop as well. Now, if you're a Solomon Great player, go in, get your cards, obviously. If you're interested in the Volcanics, go in and get your cards. These have a history of falling out. So I would caution you here, but it is an interesting set. I'm interested in it. I'm going to get some. Those are the 4 sets that are dropping over the summer. This comes out August 11th. It's a really cool time to be into Yu-Gi-Oh! You've got some great sets coming out. If I'm going to prioritize these, I'm going with Dinos Nexus first, then Wild Survivors second, and then I would go with the, the Battles of Legend Monstrous Revenge. And then last but not least is the Duelist, Legendary Duelist set. That's how I would prioritize it. I understand people prioritize it different ways, but it's a fun time to be into Yu-Gi-Oh! Your wallets are probably going to hurt a little bit if they don't hurt already. But I'm just super hyped for this time. I hope this information was helpful. If you like what we're doing, hit that subscribe button. I do have one thing to say is I'm going to be doing a couple things, so I'm not going to be able to upload these types of videos for the next kind of 6-7 days, about a week. So we'll be doing primarily shorts. We did our first short yesterday. It was a lot of fun. A little harder than I thought it would be. But we're going to be putting out some shorts over this next week, but we won't have these videos. But just so you know, we're going to get right back into it the next week. So my name's Todd from Ko2 Cards, and I am out of here.